All right. Good morning, everyone. This is Ryan Howe with Small Business News for today, May 14th. Good to have everybody on the stream today. Again, I come to you every single day, Monday through Friday, between 8 and 9 Eastern here on Facebook and on YouTube. So if you're interested in what's happening in small business world, this is the show for you. Now, this show, what I do is I actually bring and share information that I share with my clients every single day to you, get on Facebook and YouTube. So if you're interested in learning more about what I do, I hope that I learn more about how I help my clients. You can go to summitbusinessguys.com. And then today, I hope earn your subscription or a follow along for my pages here, so you can join us live here. Again, you get the opportunity. Join us live here. I do take questions on the stream live, so it's definitely something to keep in mind. So today we got a couple topics to cover. The NFIB, the National Federation of Independent Businesses, released their April Small Business Optimism Index report. We're going to go over that. That's a pretty common occurrence on here. It's one of my favorite ones to go through, especially where it gives you, over time, some of the metrics that change. And then we're going to get into an interesting study on entrepreneurs around the country, but we're going to focus specifically on Michigan and the Great Lakes region here, because that's where I'm out of, West Michigan, and about the percentage of entrepreneurs who feel, basically they feel trapped in their small business, that they can't leave. They want to leave, but they don't think they can leave for whatever reason it is. So it was definitely an interesting read. I want to come back and kind of share some of it with you here, because there's definitely some corollaries to keep in mind, and to understand the mind of small business owners again. So let's get into it here. So here's our first one we're going to cover today. Again, as always, links to all the articles that I discussed during the program are in the description, so you can go check them out there. Easy peasy. Inflation continues to hinder small business operations. I mean, we all knew that, right? Let's see what they have to say. And again, this is from April, and this is the most current survey data that they have after they get it and do all the mathing on it. So let's get into this. All right. NFIB Small Business Optimism Index rose by 1.2 points in April to 89.7, marking the first increase of this year, but the 28th consecutive month below the 50-year average of 98. 22% of owners reported that inflation was the single most important problem in their business, down 3 points from March, but still the number one problem for small business owners. This time of year, I can pretty much guarantee you it's going to be hiring is going to be moving up consistently, because this is obviously getting into summer season for small businesses. So let's get into cost pressures remain the top issue for small business owners, including historically high levels of owners raising compensation to keep and attract employees, said Bill Dunkelberg. Still go back to Fairly Odd Parents every time I hear this guy's name. I'm sorry. NFIB chief economist. Overall, small business owners remain historically very pessimistic as they continue to navigate these challenges. Owners are dealing with a rising level of uncertainty, but will continue to do what they do best, serve their customers. So key findings include, again, a net percent of owners who expect real sales to be higher rose 6 points from March to a net negative of 12%. Again, that's seasonally adjusted. A seasonally adjusted net 12% of owners reported planning to create new jobs in the next 3 months, up 1 point from March's lowest level since May of 2020. That's an interesting piece there. Again, they are seeing the need for more bodies, and a lot of that has to do with our boomer friends retiring. You're going to see that continue to tick higher. As we were talking before, and before we move into this, just as a reminder, I have said, and I will continue to say that this job market is going to continue to stay strong for a very long time. There are 8.5 million job openings in the country. 8.5. It doesn't matter how many jobs are cut anywhere else. There's work for people to land. So just keep that in mind. That's going to be a continued push on inflation as well. All right, a net 26% seasonally adjusted. Understand these are all seasonally adjusted for the most part. Of owners plan price hikes in April, down 7 points, and the lowest reading since April of last year. And the reason is if there's been that McDonald's article, it's been out recently, and what McDonald's and a lot of the fast food, quick service, and even the fast casual dining, those numbers are starting to show. Basically the lower tier consumer is done. They're spent. They have no excess capital, and it's bleeding into the middle, basically into the middle class as well. There is not enough. They do not have enough excess capital to eat out as much anymore. They're So what you're finding is a lot of these, the same thing for businesses. They're making choices now with that butter or guns argument, that they're making decisions now where, hey, maybe we don't need this. So that's where we're getting to the point where prices can't go up much more without, honestly having some disastrous effects for folks. All right, 40% of all owners reported job openings they could not fill in the current period, up 3 points in March, which was lowest reading since January 2021. As I was mentioning, still 8.5 million job openings there. And the net percent of owners raising average selling prices fell 3 points from March to a net 25% seasonally adjusted. Okay, folks, I'm just telling you what we want to worry about here. And just to be clear, what the signal I'm looking for, and I hope I don't see it, is where we start seeing a large number of business owners, even a small number, to be honest. I think that's where it usually starts, just a trickle of business owners who are saying they're having to lower prices for sales. Once we get into a disinflationary environment, basically where it's almost deflationary, not quite, but it'll start showing up as disinflation. Then it turns into deflation. Bad things happen in the economy real quick. So we definitely don't want to see that happen. Now, as reported in the NFIB's monthly jobs report, 56% of owners reported hiring or trying to hire in April. Those hiring or trying to hire, 91% of owners reported few or no qualified applicants for the positions they're trying to fill. Let's just say that one more time. 91% of owners reported few or no qualified applicants for the positions they're trying to fill. The one thing I would just say is take heart. If you are a business owner, you're not alone. I tell it to a lot of my clients that no one can find the workers they need. So the best known practice I have right now is relook at your jobs. Take a look at your overall, the way your processes are being run. What can you automate? What can be broken into two different positions to maybe you can find a smaller, basically a smaller amount that you can still hire for, and figure out how to offload the rest. It's time to get creative, folks. Now, 56% of owners reported capital outlays in the last 6 months, unchanged from March. Of those making expenditures, 38% reported spending on new equipment, 24% acquired new vehicles, 16% improved or expanded facilities, 11% spent money on new fixtures or furniture, 6% acquired new buildings for land or expansion, 22% planned capital outlays in the next few months. Now, this one, the acquiring new building or lands for expansion, I don't doubt that actually is going to stay pretty low for a while. Putting capital out, the cost of borrowing is really high right now. And also there's a number of business owners that are seeing the big boys are having to turn over, basically release their business now, foreclose on them, or they're selling them at a 40 to 60%, 70% loss. So it's got a lot of people worried. All right. A net negative 13% of all owners reported higher nominal sales in the past 3 months. The net percent of owners expecting higher real sale volume rose 6 points to a negative 12%. So long story short is it's not looking good. They're expecting some, but it's not much. It's less bad. All right, we'll take that. The net percent of owners reporting inventory gains rose 1 point to a net negative 6%. This is obviously, again, it's only 1 point here, folks, but anytime that there's inventory gains happening, that means their sales aren't going out the door. People are over ordering. There's all sorts of things that start happening with that, because when you have inventory gains, that means less sales down to your suppliers, which then trickles down quickly. So not seasonally adjusted, 12% reported increase in stocks, and 17% 17% reported reductions. A net negative 4% of owners viewed current inventory stocks as too low in April. Net negative 6% of owners planned inventory investments in the coming months. So you can see that inventories are higher. They are saying, now I got plenty of inventory, and they're not going to be basically investing in any additional inventory coming soon. Why is that? Folks, they're looking 6 to 9, again, the small business owners, they're looking 6 to 9% down, 6 to 9% or 6 to 9 months in the future. That's what they're looking at right now. And, you get inventory when you have plans for sales in the future, and they're not seeing it. So, this is things to definitely be concerning in here. All right. All right. Next. Here we go. This is what I didn't want to see. Pay attention to this one, folks. This is super important. 13% of owners reported lower average selling prices, and 41% reported higher average prices. 13%. That's not a lot, right? But I'm telling you, that number is not good. If people are having to lower their prices in order to make sales, that cuts into margins. That means more job, and basically going to have to cut jobs. It's not good. All right, price hikes were the most frequent in finance. Yep, you can see that 54% higher. Retail, 50% increase in retail, construction, manufacturing, and wholesale sectors. Woo, man, that is a lot of. I mean, that's so you're basically looking at 45% of the 50% of the economy because of what those numbers look like. Basically 50% of the retailers in the country I've been raising prices. That's where we're at. All right, seasonally adjusted, a net 38% reported raising compensation in April. Net 21% of owners plan to raise compensation in the next 3 months, and that's the time frame though. This is when raises come out. Let's see here. Last piece I want to get down to is this other area here. The frequency of reports of positive trends was a net negative 27%. It's 2 points better in March, but still a very poor reading. Among owners reporting lower profits, 33% blamed weaker sales, 14% blamed the rise in cost of materials, 13% cited usual seasonal changes. We're in shoulder season right now in a lot of the country, and 12% cited labor costs. For owners reporting higher profits, 43% credited sales volumes, 26% cited seasonal change, and then 11% cited higher selling prices. So what you're saying is there's folks that are making sales right now, but there's not a lot of them. Now, 3% of owners reported that all their borrowing needs were not satisfied, up 1 point from March. 28% of owners reported all credit needs met, and 60% were not interested in a loan, which that is a good thing. Of those numbers right there, we definitely want to see that, where everyone says, yo, we're good on capital right now. We don't need to go to tap the markets. That doesn't mean that, but with that though, that means just for current state. It doesn't mean that they're planning on growing. So just want everybody to, go through that. Again, I recommend the links to this articles in the description. Go check it out for yourself. So let's get into the next piece here, which is going to be this study on quarter of Michigan. Excuse me, quarter of Michigan entrepreneurs. Sorry about that, folks. All right. 1/4 of Michigan entrepreneurs feel trapped in their business. A recent survey by LateNode.com concluded 28% of small business owners in Michigan expressed a desire to leave their enterprises, but felt trapped. A low number when compared to the rest of the Great Lakes states. And this is what I wanted to go through here. There's something different about Michigan and the way business is operated here. Not sure what it is, but let's see. A recent survey by LateNode.com concluded 28% of small business owners in Michigan expressed a desire to leave their enterprises, but felt trapped. Again, a low number. The study showed the numbers in entrepreneurs feeling trapped in other Great Lakes states was 36% in Ohio, 45% in Indiana, 43% in Illinois, 32% in Wisconsin, 40% in New York, and 41% in Pennsylvania. So obviously, Michigan's the outlier here. Now, according to the study, many entrepreneurs deal with financial costs, grappling with personal pride, the challenge of starting over after pouring the resources into countless hours in their ventures. Respondents were chosen from a geographically representative online panel of double opt-in members. The selection was tailored to meet the criteria for each unique survey. Again, if you want to go there, the link to the figures and the actual survey are here. Go check that out if you like. Now, delving deeper into the reasons tethering these owners to their businesses, the survey identified several key factors. This reads like ChatGPT wrote it, just FYI. Emotional attachment emerges as the primary barrier, with 37% of respondents citing deep personal connections to their business as the main reason they couldn't leave. 37%. They just, they have an emotional attachment. I often say that with the small business owners, thing to keep in mind there is they see their small business as one of their children. Brought it into this world, they've raised it, nurtured it, and they're emotionally attached to it. It's one of the reasons that people come work with me is I can help them when it's time for them to leave and they're not sure how to do it. That's why folks come work with me as a small business owner, or as a small business owner, to come work with me as a business coach. You can learn more about what I do at summitbusinessguys.com if you want to go check it out. Again, you can learn more about how I help people work on their businesses. You can learn some of the business, just a smattering of the businesses that I work with here in West Michigan and in Maine. Learn more about me, connect with me, learn about the Pinnacle business operating system that I have my clients use to help them run their businesses. And then you can come here and check out my latest YouTube videos, as well as, the rest of the social stuff. Yeah. So give it a chance. I think you'll like it. Again, you reach out to me again at summitbusinessguys.com. All right. So financial dependence is another significant factor, with 25% relying on their business as income as their primary financial resource, which makes sense. Additionally, 20% of business owners face economic barriers to selling their business at a reasonable, at a profitable price. This number, 20% of business owners face economic barriers to selling their businesses at a profitable price. Triple that. 66% of small businesses never sell. 66%. So they're saying they think they could get a profitable price. You'd be surprised what they actually would get. While 19% encounter a scarcity of suitable buyers, further complicating their exit strategies. The challenges of running a small business extend beyond the difficulties of exiting. According to the survey, the biggest hurdle faced by entrepreneurs is time management, highlighted by 39% of respondents. Other significant challenges include financial constraints, cited by a quarter of the participants, struggle to balance work with personal life. I mean, that's for sure, by 19%. Finding and retaining customers also remains a critical concern for about 15% of business owners. You'll see that consistently across the board. Importance of work-life balance is overwhelmingly recognized, with 72% of the respondents stating it is very important to them, underscoring the broader implications of demanding nature of entrepreneurship on personal well-being. The survey also addressed the technological aspects of business operations and reveals that nearly 1 in 3 entrepreneurs are not familiar with AI-driven solutions for business automation, which hurts my head. There are so many opportunities to utilize AI with within your business. If you aren't sure how to do that, reach out to a business coach like me. We can help you set up your business in a way that you can maximize AI to free your people up to work on the basically on the cash flow generating business operations you want, not the data and collection and analysis piece. Now, when asked about the most time-consuming aspects of the business operations, respondents identified administrative tasks, customer service, marketing and sales, product or service development as the primary areas. Let's just go with the last paragraph here again. In the pursuit of entrepreneurial dreams, it is important to remember that sometimes the greatest act of courage is knowing when to let go, to pivot, or start anew, says Daniel Basilou, co-founder of LateNote.com. It is also important for entrepreneurs to at least become familiar with a variety of automation tools that exist and are getting better each day. These tools can drastically save time and resources, boosting business efficiency and paving the way for greater success. So again, you can check out the link to this article. It's on my it's in the description, so please go check it out. Again, yeah, this is one of those things where, in my line of business, where I run into a lot of my clients where they want to sell, but they're not sure, they're not sure if they have a business to sell. In the vast majority of cases where I'm talking with someone, what they have is a collection of assets and they've made a job for themselves and they have nothing that they can, basically they're looking at an estate sale. That's what it looks like. When they come work with me, our goal is to get a set of build a business that doesn't require that individual to be around. Then the equity that they built up in their, basically the goodwill is now in that brand can now be sold because you have repeatable processes that we can then move forward with and sell. So you can learn more about what I can do to help my clients at summitbusinessguys.com. So let's go over what we talked about today. We got the NFIB, National Federation of Independent Businesses. Their April Small Business Optimism Index is out. things don't look all that great under the surface. Folks, the way I'm putting it right now is most people are just they're treading water with most of their head above, and they're doing pretty well. Not great. They're not moving forward, but they're not going backwards anymore. But they're having to make some more and more decisions, just like the consumer is, where they're going to basically deploy capital, if they're going to deploy capital, what it's going to look like for finding work, employees. There's just a lot out there right now that nothing in business is easy right now. And that's obviously it's a market shift from before the pandemic and coming out of the pandemic. We're now into the tough stages of building basically business stuff. That's what's going on right now, and I expect it to continue this way for quite some time. Study on, and then we just went through that study on entrepreneurs, and that's that biggest piece here. Again, just remember in your entrepreneurs, there's if you when you start a business, this is my recommendation I have every time that I get the chance to talk to a group of entrepreneurs who are looking to start businesses. You need to have your exit plan figured out at the same time you're building your business. That you need to have an understanding of what you need to build in order to sell it, or what that exit looks like for you. Okay. That needs to be that's actually where your goal is at, not just making a ton of money. How do we build this in a way that we can then package it for sale? That's how I want, and that's what I coach people consistently. So just keep that in mind. Michigan is doing better. Like I saying, it's only around 25% of the respondents of the entrepreneurs that they spoke with feel that they would like to leave their businesses, but they can't. A rest around the country, it's well over, it's into the 40 to 50 percentile, where there's entrepreneurs and their small businesses, they want to leave, but they can't. They feel trapped and they can't do anything about it. We don't want that for you. So again, do your part. Make sure you understand what it takes to actually build a business to sell. And if you're not sure how to do that, reach out to me at summitbusinessguys.com. Thank you for stopping by today. It was good having everybody on the stream. Again, we are live here every day, Monday through Friday, between 8 and 9 a.m. Eastern, unless I have client work, and that is what it is. I'm not able to hop on here. So with that, hopefully I earned your subscription today. Please go ahead and hit that, subscribe, hit that like button, and then also hit your notifications so you can know when I'm coming live on here, so you can come in and join us on the chat. So with that, take care, and I will see you